how's it going? Can you give us the latest update on yourself, what you've been up to and how you're doing during quarantine?
Hi, yeah, of course. So I came to Pepperdine, when was it? End of September. And then obviously since I came from Sweden, I had to do quarantine for 2 weeks. But then I was finally out and be able to practice and being with my team and just getting after it here at Pepperdine, which has been amazing so far. So I'm really glad that I took the decision of coming back here.
You mentioned being in Sweden. Can you maybe talk about that? What it was like being overseas, away from the United States during all of this? And then once you did get back, how that transition has been for you?
Well, being in Sweden, it's obviously different since they haven't been as tough with the restrictions during COVID. So during the summer, it was weird because like I felt there wasn't even Corona in Sweden. Obviously, there was, and people were still keeping social distancing. But then when I got here, it was such a transition, like the rules and restrictions and everything, which been good because being now at Pepperdine, they're keeping us safe and we're able to do what we do, playing tennis and working out in a safe way. Um, so that's been great. Obviously, it's different being here, but the weather is so much better back home now. It's winter and cold and dark, so I'm just enjoying being here.
How did you manage to maybe stay close to tennis while you were home in Sweden? I'm sure you had the chance to work out and stay in shape before you got back to the United States.
Yeah, so I was really lucky that things didn't shut down. So I was still able to practice. I played a lot of tournaments this summer. They did such a great job of still keeping it safe, but having to offer tournaments. So I was playing this whole summer. So it was great actually for me since being away from the sport for such a long time is tough as an athlete. So it was nice that I was able to practice and playing tournaments and keeping the level high, even though Corona and everything is going on. I think no one really know how it thinks we're gonna be here at Pepperdine with practices and tournaments and everything. So it was kind of like vague how everything's gonna be like. But we were so happy that we were able to go to that tournament, like you mentioned, and doing that with our teammates. And even though it was an individual tournament and we played for ourselves, it was still fun having that team atmosphere and being out on the court playing tournaments again, which is what we love and what we do and what we're looking forward to for the spring to get back into the season. So that was really, really fun. But also just being back on court and practicing and trying to get better every day, but doing that in a safe way. It's been really great actually. It's better than I thought because obviously it was unsure when I was back home how I was going to be here. But it's been really great.
I want to talk about your guys' roster this year. Each and every season, you guys seem to be stacked. Walk us through
Mhm.
that roster. What can we expect from this year's list of girls?
Yeah, so last season we were only like 6 players at the beginning, so it's nice to have a little addition this year. We have some new faces coming. We are I mean, I was like, need to count. We're so many now. I'm not used to having so many people on the team. We have some new faces, like 4 new faces that are coming in, both transfers and freshmen. And then also we have our seniors, Jess and Ash, coming back, which is awesome. So we have a mixture of like routine and like some fresh coming in, fresh blood. But I'm really excited for this year's team. We're all working really hard, and everyone is wanting to push and willing to do the job. And everyone seems so pumped for the season. So it's going to be a good time.
You've already had a year under your belt within the Waves program. What's it like being coached by Per? How much are you enjoying, him as your guys' head coach now that you guys have started your second season together?
I love it. Like Per, he was one of the biggest reason why I came to Pepperdine. I really trust him and his way of coaching. But not only him. I mean, we have Pete and Jan as well. So they make a great coaching staff, and they just help us both on the court but off the court as well, which I think is really important. So I love being out there on the court with them, and they push us every day. And it's not always easy, I'll tell you that, but that's how you get better. And it's great having them backing you up every day. So that's really great.
I want you to walk us through your recruiting process. It always amazes me that we have so many athletes on tennis from all different walks of life, all different parts of the world. How did you get in contact with Pear, and how did you find out about Pepperdine?
Yeah. So I wasn't really sure about college tennis. I was like, should I go? Should I go just play pro instead? And I was kind of late on the ball compared to a lot of American students and American tennis players. But then obviously there was this recruiting process where I was talking to a lot of coaches, and Per is actually Swedish and I'm Swedish. So he got in contact with my coach somehow, talking about Swedish player coming to the States. And my coach like, well, I have this girl, she's really good, she want to play college. And then I started talking to Per, and I don't know, it just clicked. Like I felt Pepperdine was such a good fit for me and for my tennis. And you know, I kept talking to different schools in Pepperdine, but I just felt like, okay, this is something special here at Pepperdine. And I had the opportunity to visit, and I was just like, I want to be here. I want to go here. So yeah, somehow I ended up here from Sweden to here. But I'm really thankful for the opportunity for playing here. And yeah, like you said, it's really fun that we have a lot of international students, especially on the tennis team. But it's great.
I want to touch back on you guys both being Swedish. Do you guys ever talk about your favorite foods, like going back to Sweden? I'm sure Paris always gotten excited knowing that you guys can share that type of similarity. I like
Yeah.
Swedish chocolate and I like Swedish
Hmm.
meatballs.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, Swedish chocolate. It's so good. Like it's underrated. People, it's like, what is in that? But it's great. The thing is, like, Paris stayed in the States for so long, so he's getting more and more Americanized. Like, um, sometimes he just texts and talks to me in English, and then after a while, he's like, "Wait, why are we talking Swedish?" But it's great. And sometimes I get a package from my family of like the traditional foods, and I give some to Per, and he gets so happy. But obviously, it's nice having someone that knows what it's like, and I can talk to him about the culture and everything. But it's just funny that he knows my culture and everything. So yeah.
I wanted to ask you about your teammates. You guys obviously come from all walks of life. What's that like, all coming together? And at the end of the day, you guys just have one mission, and that's to win.
Um, it's nice having your teammates and having the same goals, because it's like I said, it's not always easy. We're working out really hard, and to do that day in and day out, it gets on your mental. But having your teammates doing it together with you, it helps a lot, and you can push each other, um, like the coaches, both on and off the court. It helps you become a better tennis player, but also outside, because there's more than life than a sport, even though that it feels like tennis is the only thing in our life sometimes. Um, but also to share the experience. I mean, we're in this together, even though if we lose, if we win, if we have a good time, if we have a bad time, we're all in this together and share that experience. It's really amazing. And to meet the amazing people I have around me, I would really love my teammates, and they're such amazing persons. Um, it's unreal, honestly.
And my final question for you before we get going is just maybe what are you looking forward to most this year, and what are some of the goals that you've set for yourself?
Well, obviously, with things with Corona and everything, it's a bit unsure how everything's going to turn out, but we hopefully will have a season this spring, which is what we're looking forward to the most. And if we're going to play a season, to just do great results, playing as a team again, having that team atmosphere. And then I mean, obviously we want to get as high as the NCAA, so I guess that's the biggest goal. But then as a team and as individuals, just get better and push ourselves to becoming the best that we can, and keep keep on working and keep on developing as tennis players, and have a good time on the way doing that. But obviously the season, that's what we're looking forward to the most, being out there on the court and fighting. That's what I love.